Well, a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to coverage of round 9 of this year's 2023 Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. Apologies for the delayed start, but we are here at Talladega for the G3 Pro 250. A bit of a special here tonight. Myself and Andrew Mather in the DDMM comms box. Apologies, we've missed qualifying, so we'll have a little look through the grid then for the race tonight. Sam Sanders starts on pole position, Kieran Harrison alongside on row 1. Matt Hale, the oval specialist, starts on row 2. Charlie Summers all alongside there on that second row of the grid. Tim Penny and Richard Sanders start on row 3. Cameron Watson and Andrew Dawson on row 4. Will Doyle and Antonio Gitsonio on row 5. Adam State and Jack Eyre go from the 6th row of the grid. Row 7, Alan Curtis and Ian Sumner, Tom Dixon, Sam Dimolo on row 8, Murray Adams and Mike Hart on row 9, James Fremont and Seb Algieri on row 10. David Whitehouse completes the 21 runners tonight for round 9 of this year's championship. Format, pretty straightforward. A single 250-mile race here at the Talladega Super Speedway. And there will be competition cautions throughout, and up in race control, Steve Hicks is ready to call those cautions as and when they are required. As I say, there will be one every 10 laps, or at least every 10 laps. Howard Mitchell bringing yourself in for the first time tonight. Bit of a straight in at the deep end here at Dega. It's the first appearance in the championship for the NASCAR Next Gen car as well.
It certainly is, keeping true to a tried and tested tradition of keeping the variety up here in our Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship, as they say, and now for something completely different. This is going to be a very interesting race, long format race as well, mate. You know, it's all about this, which is not a feature that we've had, regardless of oval racing or not. Has not been a feature that we've had so much this season, so that's an interesting aspect as well. Not to mention these next-gen NASCAR, cup cars around this Talladega track. For a lot of drivers, this is a discipline that they're less familiar with in iRacing, so it's going to be interesting. But obviously, the drivers have been putting in the practice. Well, hopefully they've been putting in the practice.
I hope so.
Yeah, we're going to be in for an interesting one, I think, when we let this one fly in a few moments' time.
Very quickly, I don't know if we can flash the championship scores on the doors up, Howard. No one can win the championship tonight. That is the key thing to note here, but this is counting points at the moment. Sam Sanders has 755, has attended every single round so far this season. Other drivers to note, Matt Hale currently in the same situation in Class 2, but it's the likes of Kieran Harrison, who's missed 2 rounds so far this year. As I say, because of that, the championship is going to go till at least the penultimate round of the season, but this could be a big shape-up night for where those Class 1 and Class 2 trophies are going towards the end of the year. Sam Sanders always feels like a little bit of a dark horse at this stage of the year, Howard, but this is a great opportunity for him. Start of 94 laps here at Talladega Super Speedway. On pole position, he's going to try and get through the first stage of this race relatively clean.
Yeah, certainly is, and that's what's going to be the key, right? To get through the first few laps cleanly, get yourself into a rhythm. It is, as I say, a long race, so you've got to play yourself into it gradually.
About set to go then. The pace car will pull into pit lane, and for the first and only time this season, we get to go boogity Club 100 iRacing round number 9. The G3 Pro 250 is lights on, lights out, and away we go for 250 miles here at Talladega. Good start for Kieran Harrison on the high side straight away, looking for the lead, but it's going to be Sam Sanders with a bit of help from Matt Hale in the 333 yellow car there on the low side. Tim Penny also on the low side right now. This is all just about keeping yourself in the game at this stage of the race. It's going to be a long race tonight. Kieran Harrison working on the high side there. I think he's got Charlie Summers just behind him. Howard looking pretty good. And it's good to see Richard Sanders, the Class 3 runner, having had a strong qualifying. He's up there in 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm delighted to say that the first 3 corners have gone off okay. And have I jinxed it? I might have done. we've got a bit of a pile-up there going on. There's at least 4 cars involved there, I think.
Now there will be opportunities for drivers to catch back up. I think we're staying green for now. It was Richard Sanders, the 333, that had the biggest of those moments straight away. There is Andrew Dawson, currently in 19th place. Mike Hart already in the pit lane. And will hopefully be using those fast repairs to get back into play. There's David Whitehouse, who's coming pretty green behind the ears into this one straight away. So it is a group of, as someone's having a little bit of a lag issue there, I think the top 7, Harrison, Sanders, Hale, Penny, Watson, Summers and Doyle, they are your top runners at the moment. We're staying calm right now though, Howard, because as I say, this is only the end of lap number 2 of 94. We know that there will be cautions, competition cautions throughout the night. We'll allow those drivers at the back to kind of catch up a little bit, otherwise it'll get quite boring. And this isn't going to decide the race, but at least for right now, these drivers will be happy in the presence of the ticking the laps by. They're getting used to this track. They're getting used to running in as part of a pack as well. All information that will be key later on in this race.
Yeah, that camera wasn't going to be... I've got to be careful when we have a look back from other cars, because if there's bump drafting going on, we just see car. Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff from our front runners at the moment. Say Mike Hart has rejoined. I believe Richard Sanders may have gone to the pit lane as well. So it's top 7 here, breaking away slightly. And then there's this pack further back. Seb Algieri leading this one with Ian Sumner and Antonio Gitsonio right with him.
Yeah, 2 drivers relatively new to the championship in Algieri and Gitsonio. Great opportunities for them to score some strong points tonight and move themselves from Class 3 up to Class 2. Meanwhile, further back. Yep.
Pack of 6 here. This is Murray Adams at the head of this one. Behind him, the likes of Jack Ayer, Sam Dimolo and Antonio Gitsonio. So something happened on to Gitsonio because he was definitely part of the group further up the road last time around. That's why timing was just having a bit of a hiccup. Going side by side in this pack.
So already to the end of lap number 5 then. Harrison leads from Sanders, Hale, Penny, Summers, Watson, Doyle. We should know that yes, William Doyle is having some blinking and internet connection issues at the moment, but I don't think, given that he's at the back of that front group, I don't think that's too much of a worry right now. $50 on the line tonight for the overall winner. Prizes for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th as well. So all the drivers in it to win it here tonight. Back at the front of the order, Harrison from Sanders, Matt Hale still there in 3rd place, just pacing things at the moment. Looks like Hart, Dawson and Sanders have all got themselves going again and are all 1 lap down.
Now that's going to be an interesting one, Andrew. They've got some traffic in that sense because Richard Sanders is nearly a lap down now and they're just going to just see him there ahead of this lead pack. So they'll be coming up onto the back of him soon. So that might provide an opportunity to break this back up a bit and open up the door for an overtake here.
May well indeed, and to the high side now looking is Sanders. Tim Penny may have a run there on Matt Hale for 3rd place, just arcing out a bit. Tom Dix is at the front of the 2nd group, just to note, end of lap number 7. Oh, the pace, what's the pace of the relative group? So I can see that Adam State is at the front of the 2nd group, sorry, the 3rd group. Pace at the moment at 51.5, so again, this top group are all in the low 50s. They've really got themselves well organised there, moving away from the rest of the pack. See on the high side there, is that Summers and Watson working together quite nicely, and Tom Dix, William Doyle looking for a piece as well. So waiting for that first competition caution, which could be coming any lap now. There is the number 15 of William Doyle. I think his internet problems have just calmed down a little bit. On one of iRacing's funky cameras, floating in the middle of the air, but this is Tim Penny. Tim Penny's had a good season this year in this championship. Looking for another good result here. Looks like David Whitehouse, unfortunately, is already out of tonight's running. We're coming up to the 10th way stage of this race. Bit of traffic for the leaders to deal with. That's Andrew Dawson, who will go 2 laps down with all of that. Richard Sanders is also 2 laps down. So these drivers will actually hope to get part of the main group and just suck to the back of it, hopefully gain some time later on in the middle phase of this race. As into the wall there. I think that's Matt Hale. Matt Hale into the wall, one of the favourites for tonight. And my goodness me, now how is this going to play into things here? Because that looked to be a single car incident. It's going to drop him into the second pack.
But there is the second pack, and he rejoins there. It was an interesting thing for the second pack to come up to. And that is Matt Hale, as you say, Andrew, a favourite for tonight. Down to 10th place, still notably though, your class leader, and that is because Murray Adams is the next man down and he's catching up to him quickly. In fact, there it is. Is this going to be a pass for class 2? They're going to be going side by side here. Matt Hale is just not up to speed yet, and that's Murray Adams through and up into a class lead.
Well, there we go. That's a big development tonight. Murray Adams, similar story to Kieran Harrison's season. I think pound for pound, the strongest Class 2 competitor so far in 2023. But hasn't been at every single round, so needs to make these latter rounds of the season count to move back up to the top of the championship standings.
Andrew, is that at least Matt Hale hasn't fallen. He's not running solitary here. He can get onto the back of this pack ahead potentially and start working with them and pacing against that pack. So at least he has got something to work with there.
Hearing from race control that the next competition caution will be on lap 15, so drivers have just got to keep themselves in line, in position for the next couple of laps, the next 4 laps rather, and be able to have a breather. Charlie Summers has worked his way to the front of the field here on lap number 11. Kieran Harrison's going to get that help on the low side once again, retake the lead of the race. Charlie Summers, not much Charlie can do right now, he's just got to keep himself in there as these cars on the low side go through. Through goes Sanders, through goes Penny. Cameron Watson holding 4th there as well. William Doyle. Andrew Dawson, remember, is 2 laps down in the blue and orange car there, 0.23. Interesting things, I think, to look at the moment in terms of the relative pace. So all of these drivers at the moment in this front pack, Howard, including those who are a lap down, are in the 49.8s. Everybody else is like a 50.1 or higher. So good stuff there for Andrew Dawson, that yes, he is 2 laps down, but it's showing that he's got that pace in a main pack.
Yeah, absolutely. That's significant for him. Trying to play himself back into this. Bit of a disrupting factor really for the others in this pack. Not least Tom Dix at the back of it at the moment. Not sorry, Tom Dix, Charlie Summers is what I meant. Tom Dix, that's why he's confused me. Tom Dix has worked himself to the head of this other pack, which has grown significantly in size, hasn't it, Andrew? It was only 3 cars at one point, I'm pretty sure. If there's a bit of rubbing and racing going on there.
Oh, that's going to get a little bit interesting, and somehow everybody survives in all of that. My goodness me. Well, that is one of the benefits of the NASCAR Next Gen car. One of the main reason for coming to this one tonight as opposed to the Legacy car, which was run for a round last year, is that it responds a bit more kindly, shall we say, when there is a bit of contact.
Yes, that was Ian Sumner in the assuming it's for you as well, mate. Luminous green car there on your screens, who had to go a little more low side than anyone ever wants to do. I had to correct it on the inside of the track. Still having a look though at Seb Algieri.
So not long to go till the competition caution. We're on lap 14. These drivers are going on to lap 14 right now that are on your screen. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Something a little bit different for us in the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. 2 more rounds of it to go before the end of the season as well. And all the main prizes to be decided. We've also hopefully, I'm yet to edit it, a video from last year's winners as, oh, there we go. Well, I don't think we're going to need the competition caution because there's a bit of a pile-up at the front of group number 2. Tom Dix is at least involved with it all, and other cars in there as well. Antonio Gitsonio has had a problem. I think Richard Sanders has had a problem as well, second during this period, and there we go. First caution of the night. So I guess that sort of brings us nicely to having a bit of a rest, Howard, talking about...
I don't think it's how Antonio would have wanted us to bring to a rest, but yes.
The winners of this championship, of course, they get a drive in the Club 100 Endurance Championship, and for last year's winners, the 2022 winners, they got that very recently down at Ella Park for the last full seniors weekend, and we did get some clips of them out on circuit, so hopefully we'll be editing a bit of a video together for that and bringing that for you here on the channel. Bit of a feature for the Endurance Championship as well. We're very close to our hearts, Howard, even though we don't race in it anymore.
Yes, indeed. It's still, I think it's still my favourite format for going racing in Club 100, to be honest. Though you and I both have a soft spot for endurance racing, as we've got some visitors to the pits.
Yes.
We've got Antonio Gitsonio, William Doyle, Richard Sanders is on the pits again.
I think William Doyle might be out of the race completely because I know that it has had, there's been reports of quite significant lag issues, which is problematic in racing games at the best of times, but in a big high-speed oval race such as this, that is quite an issue. Into the pits there is Sam Dimolo, who's been furiously practicing these races, but to his own admission, still, well, at least when I saw him last time, a couple of weeks ago, still doesn't really understand what's going on out there. But you can't fault his enthusiasm.
No, indeed. And to be honest, I mean, in some ways, I'm glad I'm sat in the comms box, mate, because I think I'd be feeling much the same. This is not I will freely admit, dear viewer, that this is not a discipline that I'm particularly, what's the word I'm after? Competent at. We'll go with that.
David Whitehouse is not disqualified because he's circulating again on my screen. Or at least there he is. Frosty's livery. Nice.
Nice.
But he's going to need many lap arounds to get back onto the back of this field. So takes us on to lap number 17. Most of the front runners pitting in means Ian Sumner will cycle to the front of the order here in this one and lead a lap of the G3 Pro 250.
Indeed. So that will, that leaves Ian Sumner as the sole car that has not pitted.
Correct.
Actually, Alan Curtis is not showing as a pit caller yet either on my timing.
Yes, no, you're right in that regard as well.
But in fact, I'm now really slightly confused. Why am I seeing Alan Curtis with Ian behind him?
Alan is a lap down.
There we go.
Well, is a lap down and needs to overtake the safety car, and has done. Pace car, I should say. It's been American. Well, I was saying that we call it the pace cart here in real life Club 100. There we go. What is going on? Bit of advertisement time. If you missed coverage of the British Kart Championships at the weekend, very dramatic finish at PF International, viewable over on the Alpha Live channel. It was great to be part of the commentary team for that. And also Rock Cup Super Final. However, I do think the stream is down at the moment for Rock Cup Super Final. hold the pressers on that one of getting the races back. They in previous years have clipped the races into the individual finals, then put them up later on. So hopefully they'll be able to do that again. I think YouTube took the stream down because there was some music of an unlicensed format being played in the background during the podiums. There we go. So we're on lap number 17. I think waiver rounds are happening at the moment. There goes David Whitehouse. There is your leader, Ian Sumner, has worked his way to the front. I think it's a while since we've had Ian in the championship. Good to see him back.
Yes. Class 3 leader overall for the first time
this year.
This year?
Yeah.
He said tentatively. It's been such a mad year. I wouldn't put money on it. But yeah. So yeah, as you say, it's been a while since we've seen him, and glad we can be featuring him prominently here, as that is the number 15.
That was William Doyle.
Yeah.
Who I'm guessing has had a note from race control to say, William, your lag's bad. Please try and sort it out during this caution period, or you may have to be removed from the circuit. Am I right in saying that's lights on the safety car out? Am I seeing that?
Does look that way, doesn't it?
Although there are a few cars still doing the go around, so
we're going to have to be quite quick about it.
Yep. What that will do is Andrew Dawson's back on the lead lap. Could say that. William Doyle is still off of it. David Whitehouse is still off the lead lap. Richard Sanders is off the lead lap. Mike Hart will be back on the lead lap. He was another one of the drivers involved in the first big incident that didn't trigger a caution. Good evening to Kirith. Kirith, why are you not in this race? You are on the entry list. Why are you not in this race? Good to hear from you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I've not been responding to my messages. It's been a busy move here at DDMM Towers, and it's about to get busy, I think, in this race. The second part of the G3 Pro 250. A couple of other drivers just making their way past to get back around and onto the lead lap as instructed by Steve Hicks in race control. I think the drivers at the back may need to just get themselves into formation, because the pace car's going to pull in here, and Ian Sumner will take us back to racing conditions, back to green, in the greenest of green machines in the 388 at the front of the order. It's a long, long run to the start finish. It's not like Daytona where the start line is right in the middle of the tri-oval. It's the end of the tri-oval. That one caught me out earlier on the start at least, but it won't this time. Here we go, engines rise. Sam Sanders on the outside, followed by Kieran Harrison. Adam State back in play at the front of the order as well. Back to green, Howard on to lap number 19. Let's see who can do well through this next pack, through this next second phase before the next competition caution.
Yeah, indeed. Opportunity akin to a race start, of course, here with a bit of a reset of the race. Difficult for Ian Sumner, as he's the only one who hasn't pitted, at least in the main pack, or those on the lead lap. And to the front goes Sam Sanders now, as they're all streaming around turn number 2.
Can go 3 wide here, around here at Talladega. There are 3 distinct lanes on this super speedway. Drivers have been told in the briefing that they've got to keep themselves in those lanes, especially in the corners. No sudden movements. End of lap number 19. Perhaps tick it on by very quickly. Oh, there's trouble in the middle of the pack. And that's going to be Cameron Watson involved with me. Sam Timmerlow involved. David Whitehouse involved as well. A number of drivers at the back of the field are going to be relegated down the order. Now, can they get back on circuit? Huge bankings, of course, here at Talladega. Have they got a lot of damage? Cautions called out again. So this is where things can be played at the moment through these races. So race control have deemed that is a significant enough incident to bring out the caution for the second time in this race. And oh yeah, Sam Dimolo in a fair bit of bother there, and probably just needs to relegate himself, to get down onto the banking and tow that one back to the pits, because that's a crabbing boy there in the 071.
Yeah, Toyota Camry's a bit second-hand at this point. It's not looking too bad visually, but I don't think. I think he might have a bit of a tracking issue. But it doesn't really matter what discipline of motorsport you're talking about, Andrew. Cautions can breed cautions.
Can indeed.
And, that's exactly what we just saw then.
I was going to say that that Toyota looks worse than a Toyota that's had its catalyst stolen. It's definitely needing a bit of work from the iRacing pit crews there.
That's still might call too soon.
Right, so what does that all mean? Well, it means we're going to get another caution here. Oh, we are in another caution. I'm just trying to see, has that worked out nicely for Ian Sumner? Because he took the gamble of staying out. Still hasn't come into the pits. Does everybody pit here, or...? Because as I say, there's a decided rate of cautions. It won't just be a case of every single time there's a big crash, there's going to be a caution. It's one every 10 laps. We saw one, of course, for the competition caution. This, I think, is kind of going to be the one between 20 and 30 laps. So if there is another big one after this one, it won't be a case of everybody gets another bit of time sat behind the pace car. Ian Sumner does come into the pits.
So too does Seb Algieri. I tell you who's played himself back into all of this, Andrew. Have we noted in 4th place, Matt Hale?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Earlier, he's played himself back in nicely here. James Fremont is on the pit lane. Cameron Watson, David Whitehouse, they're all choosing to come to pit. I shouldn't be saying it, I should be saying pit road, excuse me. So they've all chosen to come in.
Well, I mean that Ian Sumner's got good fuel. Because there may be some of that coming into play in the length of this race. So good tactics there from Ian, whose nephew races in the juniors. That's his link into this championship. Due course as well, we will be starting to bring out news regards what the plans are for next year. It's going to be a bit of a delay, of course. We've already announced that the timing of the 2024 season is going to be different. It's not going to be like within calendar year. It's going to be a bit more offset to the in real life racing calendar. But all news to come for the latest at Double Dash across your social media networks. And of course, we've still got 2 more rounds of this championship to go, which if you do want to be part of, if you are a Club 100 and or BUKC driver with a history, you don't have to be a current driver, as long as you've done some racing in Club 100 or BUKC previous to, well, today, and you're on iRacing, you are eligible for this championship. If you're a current BPEC driver, you are also eligible. Kirith has a good question. How many seasons are we in now? Well, I think we're still technically counting this as number 4, aren't we? There was the 2020 Exhibition Series.
Yes.
Then there was the 2021 Full Series, 2022, and then, yes, 2023. So in terms of history of the championship, I'd say this is 4. Third,
yep,
formally backed by Club 100 with the prizes in the following season.
Yeah, good clarification. And yeah, 2 rounds left of this. Will be on slightly more familiar territory, shall we say, in our next round, heading off to Interlagos. That'll be with the
F4s.
FIA Formula 4.
That'll be good.
Indeed.
That'll be really
that will be
good.
Because those have proven to be a very popular addition to the championship this year. We moved over to the Formula 4 cars, having previously used the RF3 car. So that, Andrew, is a car that's been a very popular addition to this championship. It has racing at a track which you mentioned we're in Series 4, in Season 4, has been with us since the start.
Yeah.
Has Interlagos, that featured on the very first calendar. So I think that's going to be an interesting one, definitely there. And then we're heading to Brands Hatch for the final round. We're running the Grand Prix layout there as well to finish off the season. And for my shame, I'm not entirely sure what
to be honest, I don't think I'm sure either that it's still officially TBC.
Oh, it was still.
Yeah, we'll get that confirmed.
Oh, well, I still think
it might be Masters.
Well, look, everyone's bought the next gen NASCARs now, right? So, Brands Hatch, NASCAR.
I was going to say
why
there's already a wacky race later on in the public seasons with Le Mans in the next gens.
Yeah.
I think we could beat it. Anyway, lights are out on the pace car, which means racing is about to recommence here at Talladega. And Sam Sanders has cycled back to the front of the order. Adam State held P2. Kieran Harrison, Matt Hale, Murray Adams, Mike Hart, Charlie Summers, Tom Dix, Tim Penny rather, and Jack Eyre. That's your top 10. Where did Sumner cycle back out into? 18th place, but I don't think that's too much of a problem right now.
No, I don't think that's bad at all.
He's got a good bit of fuel in what is Ian running. He's running the Chevy, big old Chevy V8. Lap number 23 will be completed. We'll go back to green on lap 24. There will be a good amount of green now because that was the one yellow flag for this period of the race used. So you've got to keep it clean now for at least another 10 laps. And oh dear, it's not going to be clean. It's not going to be clean at all. Murray Adams goes around. Mike Hart's in trouble as well. Couldn't quite make out which of the yellow cars was having a bit of bother there. But that's immediately spread the field out.
I think it might have been. Is it Cameron Watson?
Might have been.
I think it's the 48 that was having the issues. But yeah, costly moments there for Mike Hart, who is at least underway again, and Murray Adams takes back to the track.
Yeah, so that's not a good moment for the driver at the front of things in Class 2. And I'm hearing from Steve Michael Massey Hicks that there's going to be at least 6 laps before the next caution. Now, at least if Murray can hold on to the lead lap, I think he'll be okay. Seb Algieri is in the pits, so he's going to go off the lead lap. Screaming on by Charlie Summers there at the top 5 of Sanders, Harrison, Hale, State and Penny. Heading towards next to the big bankings here. And Sanders and Harrison, I think this is what we saw from Sam Sanders the last time we raced in the NASCAR format. He does like the ovals. He seems to run quite well around them.
Yeah, absolutely. Kieran Harrison right under the bumper though at the moment. Once again, it's a breakaway group of 8 this time, as that was Murray Adams, I think, slowly on the apron. Yeah, and then maybe struggling to get back to the pits. Should still have a good amount of time to get back in this one. So it is this group of 8 at the front of the order. Sanders, Harrison, Hale, State, Penny, Dix, and Summers in there as well. Andrew Dawson currently sat in 2nd place in Class 2, 9th overall. Antonio Gitsonio leading in Class 3 yet again. Those are the classes denoted by the red, blue and black position cards on the left-hand side. The only one that's different is the green one, which is whichever car that we are highlighting at the moment, which is, at the moment, in 2nd place, Kieran Harrison there in the green and grey car, looking to get another big haul of points, trying to move a bit closer to winning this championship. Looking back now from Sam Sanders, there is Kieran Harrison's number 93. We're inside Kieran Harrison's number 93. I think right now, Howard, these two just playing it sensibly, happy to keep themselves at the front of the field, out of trouble. Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. Jack Eyre and Charlie Summers a little bit off the back of this pack now. It's become a breakaway of 6 with these two just a little bit off the back of them. We're going to try and... I think they're in a position where they should work together here to try and get back onto the back of the pack. It's always interesting, I think, the synergies between, you know, oval NASCAR racing and when you or I are talking on a Club 100 kart sprint race. Principles are the same. We'll work together to try and pace yourselves onto those ahead, if at all possible. It's difficult when there's this much discipline, I have to say, amongst the top pack. Hope you enjoyed the stream. If you're new around here as well, why not click that subscribe button. Thumbs up
as well. And he does help us out. Crash for the number 16, says Kirith. I'm looking down for where I've got a number 16. I don't think we have one. But we have had, I think, incidents from 16 downwards for Hart, Curtis, Adams, Algieri and Whitehouse. Well, Whitehouse still recovering back from where he had a problem earlier on in the race and lost 2 or 3 laps. Not far away from when we could go to caution next for a competition caution. I suspect they might try and keep it running a little bit longer in this one, but because it's been a decent group here. Alan Curtis.
Yeah, so I think he did have some kind of incident because, he was some 10 seconds or so off the pace last lap, so something deterred his progress around this Talladega Speedway.
Pace at the moment for the front group, all of them in the 49.7s, everybody else in the mid 50 point somethings or higher in terms of number of seconds to complete this loop. End of lap number, or on to lap number 30 now. Here's Jack Eyre and Charlie Summers. You've just got to keep going at this, because at least they've got decent track position right now. They're ahead of Ian Sumner there in 9th place. He's doing a cracking job tonight. William Doyle just behind there in 10th, who does seem to have sorted his internet issues, because that blue car is bouncing around and doing alien things far less than it was earlier on this evening. Antonio Gitsonio there in 11th place, Cameron Watson, Andrew Dawson, Sam Dimolo and James Fremont all in this group as well. Need a bit more pace though at the moment. They're in the 50.2s, is cutting down onto the apron there. Is that Sam Dimolo with a bit of a problem? Oh, a bit more of a problem now. Having an incident with James Fremont, thinking all of that.
Yeah,
and that is going to be a caution.
It is indeed. So caution called, and in that, Matt Hale made it to the front of the field there.
He did.
So it has broken apart in this front group, and that is going to secure the lead for now for a man who we saw having a very costly moment in the early stage of this one, Andrew, but now has worked himself back into this one quite nicely. He was certainly one of the favourites coming into tonight with his oval experience.
Yep.
But Matt Hale in the 003 car.
Indeed. So just shows you the format that we've got here tonight, that if you do have an incident in the earliest stages, that it doesn't mean that your day is over. As Ian Sumner, I'm really intrigued to see how Ian's playing this.
Yeah, his strategy is very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's now offset with basically everybody on the fuel side. So this could be an interesting one. That pack got broken up a little bit by the incident, I think, which is why the pack that was once nose to tail led by Ian is a little bit more spread out.
I'd be interested to see if Ian tries the same thing again here of not pitting.
Could bank on it, couldn't he? We're going to have a restart.
Now just steering from race control. We've got our first penalty of the evening, and it is to the end of the line. I saw a line and EOL for Dimolo in the little chat I've got with our race controller, which I thought was a JLR joke for a moment. Then it's like end of line test. It's like yes, wave arounds then end of line for Sam Dimolo as the cause of that caution for sportsmanlike behaviour, shall we say. So that will put Dimolo to the back of the field. Who's going to get waved around here? Well, I think Richard Sanders will get waved around and get back onto one lap down, as will David Whitehouse, and Seb Algieri will get onto the last, onto the lead lap here. And just around, well actually no, we have gone past a third of the way through this race. Matt Hale at the front of it all.
Yes, basically inside the pace car at the moment.
I mean,
that's
is
not
that
just
legal?
I don't know. I mean, if you're not supposed to overtake the pace car, then momentarily
Well, define overtake. Is it just the front bumper, or is it the whole vehicle?
That's true.
Are you truly overtaking a pace car if you are inside it? You are part of the pace car.
It's true. It's a good point, and one I've never had to consider before.
Anyway, I suspect the pits aren't open yet.
Well, we had some visitors last time around, because the likes of James Fremont and Sam Dimolo were on pit road. And there is Dimolo by.
Wave rounds are occurring, so David Whitehouse went by there in the Frosted Flakes Tony the Tiger car.
His race is going great.
Oh dear. Well, he's back in play after having had a little bit of time off and in the chat. As I say, day is not over. There will be another couple of cautions at least before the end of the race from where we are right now. I think the only... Oh no, Richard Sanders is running, of our 21 pilots out on circuit. He's just come back out of the pits.
Yep.
So we'll cycle back around. Are we seeing anybody come to the pits this time? No.
I mean, look no further, to be honest, Andrew, for how the race can recover to the race leader right now. You know,
yes.
Example, we saw him flick up onto the wall, got control of it, and has played himself into this one nicely again. So it can be done. Perhaps just got to be a little bit creative. Maybe try something different on the strategy, or see how this next restart goes and take it from there. But there are opportunities here for these drivers if they keep the rest of their race clean and can sort of play this one tactically.
Well, we will be going back to green at the end of this lap. The lights on the pace car are out now, so it'll be Hale, Harrison, Sanders, Penny, State, Dix, Air, Summers, Sumner, Doyle, Chisonio, Curtis, Hart, Fremont, Adams, Watson, Dawson, Algieri and Dimolo. Dimolo relegated to the back of the order for an end-of-line penalty. And then David Whitehouse and Richard Sanders, the remaining drivers, off the lead lap. They'll just look to cycle things around here and then go for another caution there. Was that Richard Sanders having a bit of a moment with the wall? I heard some scraping of metal down the wall there. Richard Sanders is just
I didn't want to say,
gate.
but I did hear some scraping of metal as well. It sounded
active weight saving.
It is, yes.
There we go. So that will bring Richard Sanders back onto 1 lap behind. So he was 2 laps behind, is now 1 lap behind. Same. Well, Whitehouse is now on 1 lap behind. The next time there's a caution, he'll, as long as he doesn't lose any more laps between now and the next caution, he'll get back onto the lead lap. Right. Pace car pulling off. End of lap number 34. Matt Hale will take this one from first position for the next phase of the GP Pro 250. Round 9 of the 2023 Club 100 BUKC iRacing Championship. Waiting for the green. Waiting to come through the tri-oval here. When is Matt Hale going to floor it in the acceleration zone? There, he's going to floor it in the acceleration zone, and away we go again. Once again, 3 wide just behind. I can see Tom Dix trying to make a move there from 4th place. Not seen too much 3 wide racing so far here tonight. This might be the point at which we've seen 2 by 2, 3 by 3 around turn number 1. But I don't think it's working out there for those in the very high lane. Tim Penny's had a really good start. He's up to 3rd place here. He's pushing Kieran Harrison along here to the lead of the race. Tim Penny up to 2nd place. Lovely start there for the Nomad Racing pilot. Howard using the tactics perfectly to get himself in a decent position. But back here come Hale and Sanders on the low side. Adam State and Charlie Summers are in. Summers is in there as well. That's a better start. Everybody running as they come round to complete lap number 35. We're into the meat of this race.
Now we're oval racing. Few people there will have heard the eternal phrase from their spotter, 3 wide, you're in the middle.
Oh yes. Through turn 1 they go. Ian Sumner on the high side now is going to lose out in this pack and go down to around 14th place. I think that 15th place. I'm sorry, still holding in 14th place there. Tough times for Watson, Algieri, Fremont, Dimolo and Curtis. They're off the back of this group. David Whitehouse and Richard Sanders, I think, well, at least David Whitehouse is in that second chasing group. This is well organised. This is the biggest group that we've seen running for continuous number of laps here, Howard. These 14 have the chance to break away and position themselves nicely as we approach the midway point of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, this is the biggest pack, as you say, well disciplined so far. Hale, just a bit of a bump draft to Kieran Harrison on that last straight. Or I should say straight away, shouldn't I?
Yes.
But everyone down to Andrew Dawson, part of this pack.
A little bit of three wide behind Sumner. A bit of a hit check there on Tom Dix. But again, I think this is where we're seeing the benefits of this next-gen car. Last year, during round 2 at Daytona, that would have been a quite hefty wreck between Dix and Sumner, but they managed to get away with it. End of lap number 37. Change from third place. William Doyle's worked his way back up nicely here, Howard, into third place.
Yeah, this is the high
side
group working together. Yeah, absolutely. And he's got by on Matt Hale as well. And this is with help from Jack Eyre, I believe it is, who's tucked underneath him. So it is literally the two snakes, the low side pack and the high side pack. How many cars can you bump up together in series and work together to try and get through? This is a good play for William Doyle. Another driver who's had dramas tonight, is he not?
Yep.
And he's now right in at the sharp end of this one.
Well, this is what we hoped for. Continuous laps of green running. Edge of the seat stuff here in the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. End of lap 38 is Doyle from Harrison, Eyre, Hale, Sanders, State, Penny, Jasonio, Hart and Sumner. That's the top 10, but this group of 14 running very nicely at the moment. They've dropped Tom Dix, so it's now a group of 13.
Yeah, I was worried he was getting a little bit loose at the back there, Andrew, into one, but he managed to keep that one together.
Oh, big moment. Tim Penny involved, and is that Ian Sumner in there as well? Yes, it is. I was just about to say that there was going to be no, well, there still will be no cautions until lap 45. And that's the thing with this format, you've got to keep yourself in the main pack to be out of trouble and not having to work your way back into this.
Yeah, it's broken up the rhythm as well, and the high side group has just fallen apart there, and it's gone, it's advantage low side in that exchange.
Well, what that will say, it's not completely ruled them out of the game here, Howard, because we've seen the likes of Matt Hale and William Doyle. The format lets you play your way back in, but if that happens to you towards the end of the race, it's going to put you out of realistic contention of getting one of those iRacing dollar cash prizes tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We are rapidly approaching the halfway mark here, Andrew. I suppose it's still happened in the half of the race that you'd rather drama occurs of that nature, but ideally, as that's a significant moment as well. Adam State getting by on Matt Hale there, Andrew. Matt Hale's at the high side.
Yeah.
And he's going to lose out now. Willie Doyle, who was so successful on the high side a few laps ago, benefiting a little bit there. Sam Sanders as well. Coming to the fore here. Charlie Summers going with him. So it's now Harrison, State, Summers, Sanders, and Doyle. But that was that didn't work out that time for Hale.
No, it did not. It did not at all. But I think he'll still be quite happy with where this race is going right now. Coming round to complete another lap. Here's the Mike Hart and Jack Eyre duo, who I want to say got held up in the early phase of this stage. Actually done all right here to only be 3 and a bit seconds off the main pack. This is the chasing pack, which is having a problem, and that is Tom Dix into the back of Cameron Watson, who keeps it going again. keeps it out of the wall. Well done, Cameron. Well saved. Well held, but I don't think he'll be too pleased there about being turned around for around 13th place.
Yeah, and I have to say, Andrew, again, reiterating the point, I think these next-gen cars are just that little bit more forgiving. Still a challenge.
Oh, yes.
Still, but just that little bit more forgiving. That means that Watson there was just dropped well off the back of the pack rather than ending up flicking up into the wall.
Just to note, Tim Penny is still circulating. He's some 9 seconds off the pace right now. He is praying for that caution, that competition caution, to come as soon as possible. He's trying to keep himself just on -1 lap so that when the caution does come out, he gets back onto the lead lap. We're on to lap number 43, for where Tim Penny is. Well, Tim Penny's just coming through turn 2 now. I don't think he's going to be able to hold himself on the -1 lap here. Here we are on board with Andrew Dawson. Sam Sanders that we're just overtaking there, who's spent a lot of this race running at the front at the moment, but now it's just got to grit his teeth and keep it in there in this top group before the next competition caution, which won't come out any earlier than lap number 45.
And another example of someone who's played himself back into this race, Andrew, because before, when Andrew Dawson was in amongst the lead pack, we were saying that he was a lap down. Now he's there on merit and in earnest, trying to stay with this lead pack.
On to lap number 44 then, everybody just trying to keep themselves in play. I think the biggest challenge though is they're going to have some back markers coming up to greet them very short. There they are, it's the 21st, 17th, 20th positioned Richard Sanders, the 17th place of Ian Sumner, who's actually still on the lead lap at the moment, and the 20th place Alan Curtis car, number 343. How are the guys going to deal with this? They're going to go to the high side and round the outside of Richard Sanders there. Well driven by everybody. Puts Richard Sanders back to 2 laps down. On to lap number 45, but I think we will keep going unless there is something occurring on this next lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Willie Doyle goes in the middle of the 3 wide moment here. Matt Hale was on our outside, Charlie Summers on the inside, drops down a little bit there. He was the first one to break out of line there, Andrew, to try and go for a move, and it just left him compromised with the drag.
Yeah.
As they navigate Ian Sumner now. On the low side there.
Murray Adams and Matt Hale working together there. In the similarly liveried cars in terms of pattern. Yellow one for Matt Hale, red for Murray Adams. On board now with Murray Adams. Going through there is William Doyle with the, yes, that is a SpongeBob SquarePants livery on his number 15 machine. This is good stuff. Been impressed with this group. They've been able to keep things tidy for, well, since lap 30 when we were previously under caution. They'll keep going. They'll keep going for now. Until there's a following instance. There's a bit of a moment here. That's one of the back markers in the middle. That might be Alan Curtis. They've negotiated around. Once again, well done by this whole group. Just to note further down in the order, the Heart and Air pack not being caught at the moment by the 11th through 15th mob of Dimolo, Algieri, Jacksonio, Dixon, Fremont, so doing quite nicely there in the top 10.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be praying for the next competition caution, or they're just there'll be a bit more. Well, come on, we've practiced running with each other. I want to multiply the number of cars I'm racing with here.
Yeah,
see some more action. But no, they have been working well together, absolutely, pacing themselves well, and as you can see from behind them, they've been able to stave off this chasing pack, led by Sam Dimolo at the moment. As a side-by-side moment there between Tom Dix and Antonio Gitsonio. Gitsonio on the low side in the 346. still side by side, actually.
Yeah.
James Fremont getting some front row seats for this one behind them. Fremont's still running. I have to say, I mean, one of the interesting ones about the team will be his class 2. Fremont's in the top 5 within his class.
Is indeed. As I say, it's a good opportunity for the C2s and the C3s to gain good points now with the smaller entry. Good evening to Thomas Cope, our cinematographer. Some fantastic work to come, I'm sure, from Mr. Cope. If you've not seen any of his photography so far this season, where have you been? His Flickr information will be in the description below. Do go check him out on that TC_simography as well on Instagram. The latest collaborative Club 100 and DDMM post on Instagram has got tagged in, so do go give Tom some love.
Absolutely. We've flown past the halfway point. We didn't even notice.
We have,
yeah. 49 in this G3 Pro 250. Forms the anti-penultimate round
oh, yes.
of the 2023 Club 100 BUKC iRacing Championship. Part of the smorgasbord of race formats, car and track combinations that are offered in this championship.
Over the line then, we're on to lap number 50. And this has been the longest period of green flag running. No cautions since around lap number 32, 33. Being such a fast circuit, fine margins and all of that can happen at any moment. Oh, look at this massive run from William Doyle on the high side. He's going to go around the outside of Matt Hale there. That's Sam Sanders in the number 34 Mustang just ahead, but back comes Matt Hale now. That was a huge run for Willie Doyle round the outside.
Yeah. That was a mega launch that he just got off coming out of the draft there. Hurtled past Murray Adams and Matt Hale, but now it's coming back on him now though, because he couldn't get back into the main pack. Alan Curtis is there sort of going, what do I do? I'm a bit stuck here. I'm a lap down, but this guy's broken the rank, or broken ranks with the main pack.
I'm going to say that this green flag running is going on so long, we may even run into the period where we'll need some green flag pit stops, which I wasn't quite expecting tonight. So whilst they're running round,
I certainly wasn't banking on it. I certainly wasn't banking on it. Banking. No, okay.
But the likes of Sumner, Whitehouse, because they will be wanting some form of caution soon, because they want to get back in the game here. They want to get back on the lead lap. Now the car just coming up to lap now. This is going to be Cameron Watson, isn't it? It is Cameron indeed. Watson. So Cameron Watson goes off the lead lap. A breakdown there from Matt Hale is being followed through by Murray Adams. Is this a high side attempt being made here on board with Matt Hale now, trying to side draft our way through past Charlie Summers.
Murray Adams is indeed working with him here. Andy Dawson as well, trying to join the high side crew. Just using that traffic as the opportunity to break out perhaps.
Who's going to be first to blink here? Now, of course, the risk is that you go for a green flag pit stop sometime in the next 6 or 7 laps, and just as you do that, a caution comes out for a wreck.
Yep, that is definitely the risk. Definitely a risk. At some point, Andrew, someone has to blink with this eventually. Or with Andrew Dawson. It's Murray Adams ahead of us, it's Matt Hale ahead of him. William Doyle's on the low side. The 343 is Alan Curtis, who's still enjoying his taser lap down, but hey, he's part of this pack.
Pace is good. Pace is good. 49.72 last time around for Alan. On to lap number 54 then. Rattling through them here at Talladega. You're watching live coverage of round 9 of this year's Club 100 BUKC iRacing Championship. A special, an oval special, the G3 Pro 250 single race tonight at 94 laps here at Talladega Superspeedway. And it's been fascinating so far. There's a little bit of a bump draft from Adam State, arguably Kieran Harrison's closest competitor in the championship. Championship can't be decided tonight, even though drop scores are very much coming into play once this round is completed. Kieran Harrison has not been any lower than 4th in any round that he's competed in so far this year, but has missed 2 up to now. Oh, now it's getting a little bit jostly in the middle there as people are getting tense.
Sam Sanders has joined on the high side, Andrew, but whilst he checked out of the main pack, it's allowed William Doyle to get by on him. I think it was maybe Matt Hale considering trying to rejoin onto the low side, but I think Sam just ducked out, and now they're committed to that for a little while longer. Cameron Watson as well as a lap bit of traffic joining this as well.
Drivers have been circulating for 57 minutes now.
Yeah,
still more 30 laps of this one to go.
Yeah, thought Dawson was getting a bit twitchy there, but he's absolutely fine. Let's check in with the other pack here. Sam Dimmelow's still leading this one. Tom Dix, well, I say that, Tom Dix has immediately got by. You can see ahead of them as well. Ian Sumner running side by side ahead of them.
Curious that they're not catching up to the 2 ahead. So I wonder if these drivers have got an amount of damage on them, because I would have expected Hart and Air, as good as the set of drivers as they are, just the 2 of them versus around 6 or 7 out there, surely to be caught. But that doesn't seem to be the case right now. But not at an astonishing rate.
Nope, pacing themselves very well, aren't they, at the moment? So fair play to them. Low side has won the day for now, though. Who's that going slowly on the apron? That's William Doyle. He's blinking.
He's gone.
He's blinking. He's gone for it. This could be inspired, Andrew, but as you alluded to earlier, it could. Well, it is a risk. If there is a caution at this point, he's going to rue that.
And it also takes him out of the fast-running group as well. That's the other disadvantage with pitting in now. But if you're on your own, you can run fairly safely.
This is true.
You don't, if there is a wreck and it is in that top group, you know, you don't lose that track position as, oh, now is that? No, that's a pitting Jitsonio. Away goes William Doyle. Now, where does he come out here? He's going to come out on his own. He may even get caught by the pack, which wouldn't be the worst of things to happen if you're,
that works.
If you're William Doyle. On to lap number 58 then.
I just realised how many, we've got Tim Penny in this pack as well. I just realised how many cars are lapped down.
Yeah.
Are actually a part of this party.
Oh, but it was getting a little bit wobbly in the middle of all of that. Matt Hale trying to push Sam Sanders through to the lead of this group. Getting towards the final 30 laps of this race. This is lap number 58. David Whitehouse, I think, is in pit lane. Now, he was one of the drivers that the information that came to me here in the virtual comms box. He was one of the drivers lightest on fuel. So that's to be expected. Beautiful pushing through there from Matt Hale. Puts Sam Sanders into the lead of the race. He'll get off the rear bumper now and check down. That's a huge move. That is a huge, huge move from Matt Hale, and Sam Sanders puts them in the lead of this motor race. But Matt Hale's not done. He wants more work from Murray Adams behind using the same technique. He pushed Sam Sanders to the front of the order. He now himself wants to be pushed to the front of the order by Murray Adams, but good response from on the low side. Sanders, Harrison and State, the 3 Class 1 runners. They're going to push through now. Charlie Summers also trying to get involved as drivers blinking into pit lane. Don't speed on pit lane entry, boys. That looked very tight for a couple of drivers. Now we don't.
Kieran Harrison, Sam Sanders and Adam State who have pitted on this one.
Now we don't know, of course, if drivers do pick up any speed or speeding penalties.
That's Jack Eyre emerging from his second pit stop.
Yeah.
Still at the front though, battling away now. Murray Adams to the fore. Matt Hale somewhat out on his lonesome there on the high side. That just ahead of them is the driver just ahead of them is William Doyle. In fact, there is William Doyle on the high side, letting them by. So it's taken a little while, Andrew, but he has eventually filtered back into this lead pack, a lap down.
Yes, indeed.
So the question is, where has Kieran Harrison emerged? He's still there.
I think there's going to be I think that's a penalty. I think he's got a speeding in pit lane penalty, and that's why he's been held on pit road for longer than expected. Past goes Tom Dix. That could be a really big moment in tonight's round, because it's going to lose the number 93 track position.
Oh, that could be a significant moment in the running of our G3 Pro 250. The other pit callers with alongside Harrison with these two, Sam Sanders and Adam State, they've emerged. You can see on the driver tracker there, just starting a new lap now. Wow, costly there for Kieran Harrison. Look in the front of the field as it stands at the moment, Murray Adams and Andrew Dawson, your top two. Charlie Summers and Matt Hale blink. So they have gone into the pit lane as well. Or onto pit road. Sorry. Sorry, American viewers. We'll get it down by about,
stupid Englishmen.
I reckon by about lap 95 we'll have this down, mate.
Away goes Summers. And away goes Hale as well. Now, where are they going to cycle out in relation to William Doyle? Because William Doyle's really our trendsetter at the moment for where everybody is. Or is he? No, I think actually Sam Sanders is.
Yeah, I'd say Sam Sanders is a better. Yeah, Sam Sanders is a better measure. Here they are, in fact. And there is Matt Hale taking back to the track. And he's going to just come in behind them.
Hearing from race control that there may be a competition caution once all these green flag pit stops have been completed, but we're still a couple of laps off that, I believe. Murray Adams and Andrew Dawson still out there. I wonder if they peel into the pits this time around. The cars immediately behind them are not for race position right now, although a couple of them have stopped in this group.
So I think it's worth saying that the blinking first tactic from Willie Doyle hasn't appeared to pay off too well. No. Because he was 6.5 seconds off the back of the likes of Matt Hale and Charlie Summers and Adam State, Sam Sanders and all that crew. So he has got a little bit of a deficit to make up there. That's how much he lost by being the first to blink in terms of going onto pit road. But he is at least benefited from being the fourth in line of this pack right now. So he is at least back up to speed now.
And that will be not running around in a draft during the outlaps.
Yes, it was as he was getting to that point that he lost that time, absolutely.
So coming around to complete lap number 64. Are we not? Yes, we are. Still no pit activity from Murray Adams and Andrew Dawson. I'm quite surprised about that. Got some miracle juice in their machines right now. They will be hoping amongst anything. Caution, caution, caution. Now. Someone have a moment. Because if there is, they are beautifully positioned in this race now to not only take fresher tyres, potentially, and less fuel, but also keep track position. We are on lap number 65 now. Surely Murray Adams pits now. I know they learnt a lot from the Northern Fuel Saving School for Le Mans earlier on in the season, but this is ridiculous. No, they're going to go around again.
So It's going to be quite something when they all start chucking it into neutral on the banks to try and save fuel, isn't it? Bit of traffic ahead of them.
It's Matt Hale.
Well, that's Matt Hale. So that pack have caught up to Matt, and to be fair, we saw Matt did come out or emerged a little bit behind the Sam Sanders, Adam State, Charlie Summers pack, so he's fallen back similarly to Willie Doyle.
How nicely is Seb Algieri done here? He's currently running up in fourth place before having to pit for fuel right now.
Yeah, indeed, Seb Algieri does indeed come onto pit road.
Get that lap.
Sam Dimolo as well, Andrew.
Yeah.
We'll focus on him briefly. Running in third at the moment. Again, he's finding some magical go juice somewhere in that car. Ah, he's running the Toyota, so it'll be a hybrid. That's how he's managed that hybrid Camry right there.
Indeed. Right, back with the front group. We've got 7 cars on the lead lap at the moment, and they're all spread around the circuit. So this is not all of them on your screens right now. 2 of them are Murray Adams in the 210 and Andrew Dawson in the 023. Those are your race leaders. Yet to stop. Now stop. Maybe was that Dawson breaking down into pit lane? No, I don't think it was. So drivers trying to find themselves back onto the lead lap here.
I mean, at this rate, it will be Dawson breaking down because he's going to run out of fuel, Andrew. I mean, he's not taking to pit road, neither is Murray Adams. I'm really intrigued by this.
Seb Algieri's had a speeding in pit lane penalty, our information is telling us, from the paddock.
That's important. That's important. He's driving really well. This pack here, those laterally on the lap. So Sam Sanders, Adam State, Charlie Summers, James Fremont as well plays himself into this one, or is playing himself into this one again quite nicely. That ahead is a Here and Harrison that's nearly a lap down. That is. Emerged from what we presume to have been what we assume to have been a penalty.
So Murray Adams last stopped around lap 33-34. So could still go for another few laps here. Could be like lap 72, lap 73.
For now, we've been told. I was going to say, we've been told another competition caution when these green flag stops finish. That could be quite a while. Or an incident. This is true. This may Pat then. Murray Adams at the head of the field in the 210. Andrew Dawson with them as well, and that is that Alan Curtis that's running with them as well?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah, it is.
The group with Sam Sanders in it, Howard, is working quite nice. I'm just looking at some of the lap times. They're matching the race leaders right now.
Yep.
It's the group 4th downwards. Here they are. So Sanders, State, Summers, Fremont, Hale, Doyle, Watson all in here. Complete lap number 70. Less than 25 laps to go now here for round 9. G3 Pro 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. First time we've had Dega on the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship calendar. It's been a decent run for these drivers tonight. Drivers trying to get through. Oh, it's very close to the rear bumper there. Matt Hale on Andrew Dawson, keen for Dawson to get through. I don't think Dawson's necessarily keen to get through, he's just quite happy to run behind Murray Adams right now. And is that's Sam Dimolo in trouble, or is that just him coming in for a bit of service?
No, he's coming onto pit road there, that's fine. So the Sam Sanders led pack inherits 3rd place and races by. So It's only Andrew Dawson and Andrew Dawson to the head of the field, if we've not covered that. But only here, Murray Adams are actually on the lead lap in this pack now. The majority of cars on the screen right now are a lap down, and the highest placed of them is Matt Hale.
How about this for a run from Andrew Dawson? He's actually breaking away from Murray Adams right now. I think this will all reset itself in either an incident caution or a competition caution between now and the end of the race. And there is going to be at least one more of those before the end of the race. This is a really good run from Andrew Dawson. Tim Penny still in there as well, and now they blink. Now they blink. So into the pits comes Dawson and Adams. Make sure that they don't get any speeding and pit lane penalties. Cameron Watson was in as well there, so they will cycle through, get some service.
Yeah, Cameron Watson, James Fremont as well joining them here.
Now this starts to become a real game of chess. Where do these drivers file out into relative to the likes of Sam Sanders, to Adam State, to everybody else? Now for this group, they must not wreck now. They must not wreck. They've got to keep this running nice and clean until the competition caution, because if they cause an incident caution right now, they will massively have the advantage. Those drivers there, through goes the main pack. So the main pack, this has been great work from the likes of Charlie Summers, Sam Sanders and Adam State et al. Recently, because they've been able to, a little bit under the radar, cut a number of seconds off Andrew Dawson and Murray Adams. Murray Adams has not had a good pit stop either. Some 7 seconds behind Andrew Dawson as they're leaving pit road. So this is now the fight for the lead. They've got 15 seconds over Matt Hale as well. Matt Hale's on a bit isolated right now.
Yeah, and Willie Doyle as well. He's got 343 of Curtis there for company, but yeah, they are a little bit isolated. So this top four, I'm going to say, have played this one really well. They actually, sorry, top four, excuse me, Adam. Top three, because Dawson is a little way off the back of them here. They've got some friends for company as well. Charlie Summers in that 35, sorry, he hasn't flipped. 35 Oreos car is your race leader. The 27 ahead of us is Tom Dix.
Look how much the speeding in pit lane penalty has cost Kieran Harrison. He's fighting just to stay on the lead lap here. They're going to go by Sam Dimolo. It's all kind of fallen a little bit apart for Sam Dimolo in this race. Goes 1 lap down. 20 laps to go. 20 laps to go of the G3 Pro 250. Charlie Summers leads it. Adam State second. Seen these oval races throw up a bit of a different winner in previous seasons. Are we going to get another one here at Talladega in Alabama? And there's the competition caution, right. Okay, now, what do you do here, Howard? It's been a cycle of green flag pit stops recently. Does anyone towards the back of the field take a pit stop here and take a fresh set of tyres?
It's an interesting idea, isn't it? Because that would be, what, good to the end on that?
Good to the end, but you lose track position. And if there's another caution afterwards as well.
I was going to say, I think,
do you lose the advantage? So the competition caution comes out, neutralises the race with Charlie Summers at the front of the field. Who's going to get back onto the lead lap here? Dimolo, Fremont, Jacksonio, Watson, Penny, Curtis, Algieri will all get back on the lead lap. Whitehouse and Sumner will get back onto 1 lap off the lead lap. Poor David Whitehouse, who's been trying to fight back onto the lead lap for the last, being in that position of going back onto the lead lap for the last 40 or so tours of this circuit is unfortunately not quite going to get there.
that is a shame.
So the field will form up. They're just about to come into the tri-oval now. Where is our race leader in all of this? Yeah, 75.8 laps completed, so it will be part of this pack. That was a very long period of green flag running. Alan Curtis is going for the pits.
Yes, yeah. As has Tim Penny.
Yeah. This makes sense if you're these guys, because you're a little bit off the group. You should still be able to get the wave around as well and get back onto the lead lap.
You may as well. You'll get the same result if you do the same as everyone else, right? So they may as well roll the dice here, see if they get sixes.
Richard Sanders is a retirement from this race that we should just note. So Richard Sanders in the 333 out of this race. Will still score points for 21st position. So number 35 leads the Oreo car. The wave arounds have begun. There goes Sam Dimolo. There goes James Fremont. Antonio Gitsonio will be next up. Cameron Watson will get himself back onto the lead lap here, which is half useful. Ian Sumner goes by as well on the other side, which technically he shouldn't be doing, but well, if he incurs any iRacing penalties, that's his own being. That's no penalties being cleared tonight. Tim Penny and Alan Curtis, as we say, have not gone through yet, but that's because they've been in the pits for some service. I can see Alan Curtis's indicator is just coming along the backstretch now. Where is Tim Penny in all of this? I expect to see his car flying through shot.
He's on the back.
Yeah, now he's got
there
the
it
message.
is.
Yeah, he needs to go around and get back onto the lead lap. So Tim Penny will do that.
I think that's worked well for Penny and Curtis, Andrew. I think that was decent play there to go onto pit road, get you freshened up, get the wave by, and then see how that sets you for the closing. Closing 17 lap. Well, inside the last 20 laps here at Talladega.
So Alan Curtis has come in again. That's an interesting one.
Ooh,
may have a penalty.
Yes. Maybe. Okay. So that means it's Tim Penny who carries that gauntlet of those who took the gamble. Stick or twist, and he went with twist.
We'll catch up to the main group because they've only just started lap number 77.
Indeed. So I think that's paying dividends for him here.
I'm also just trying to see. I think race control are being kind here. I think Ian Sumner and David Whitehouse are going to be allowed to come back onto the lead lap here. I think they're going to get a double wave around.
Yeah, Sumner's definitely picked up the pace. Whitehouse is still with the main pack for now. Closing moments, or closing phase, I should say, of the GT Pro 250. Round 9 of. Was that Alan Curtis? Alan Curtis.
Word from race control: no, everyone is not getting back onto the lead lap. So that is going to be a penalty for Ian Sumner.
Ah, okay.
He was not directed to do that. Yes, he's now out. In fact, now he is quit the lobby. He is now out of this race.
Oh, okay.
So down to 19. David Whitehouse will be hoping for another quite quick caution to then get the lap around and get back onto the lead lap of the race.
That would have been a completely new type of commentator's curse. If anyone's listening to us whilst they're competing, if we could have cursed it by implying that you had a wave around when you did, but we didn't say anything this one.
No, I contemplated whether race control were being nice. They weren't. Right, back to racing we go then. 17 cars on the lead lap as part of this main group. This may be it to the end of the G3 Pro 250. Charlie Summers will take us from the front of the field. Adam Stacey's going to have the hard job of being on the high line. Sam Sanders has been running at the front of the order for most of the night. Away we go. Green flag at Talladega. On to lap number 79. Adam State gets a good start. Has his nose in front ahead of Charlie Summers, but Summers gets help from Sanders behind. Battle for fourth place and lead of C2 between Dawson and Hale. Great running of green flag laps before the competition caution. Can the drivers do it again to take us to the end of this race? Looking good so far. Heading on to the second banking. Alan Curtis was, oh no, big wreck in the middle. William Doyle's had a problem.
Yeah.
But I think he's the only driver to have really suffered in all of that.
Yeah, Cameron Watson's headed to the, Cameron Watson's a little bit off the back of the pack now.
And there's another caution out. Another caution out. Oh, well done by Cameron Watson. Cameron Watson just avoided going into pit lane there.
Yep.
There was a late jerk out to realise, no, pit lane's going to be closed. So, David Whitehouse gets himself back on the lead lap, Howard. He's only been trying for about 76 laps, but he's done it.
He's made it work. Well done, David. I hope that pace car driver's quick on the quick off the marks, isn't he? He's back out again.
He just picked up his coffee and realised, oh, right, okay. Should be a fairly quick one.
Stopped off, grabbed a coffee to go. I could insert any number of famous American establishments you could acquire a drink, but we'd have to go through a load to say other options are available. Do you know what? We haven't got a single Talladega Nights reference into the stream yet. It's
we haven't. Well, not intentionally, anyway.
No. Put the pressure on now. There's been plenty going on, to be fair. Plenty going on. We've been able to enjoy, I think, mate. Do I say it? Do I say it before we get to the end? For me, this is the most successful attempt that I can think of that we've done in this series at oval racing. I think that central bit of green flag running was good, as we've got Dimolo and Harrison to pit road, as has gone Willie Doyle and Jitsonio. Well, now that could be a shrewd move, Andrew.
If pit lane was open, of course. I think it was. But then again, there were some flashing red lights at the top of the pit road, so I'm not so sure on that one. I've just poked that one to race control. Right. Well, it means that we'll have, I think, around 10 to 12 racing laps remaining in this one. There is also a possibility for green-white checker, we should say, as well. There'll be a maximum of 3 attempts at a green-white checker at the end of the race. Hopefully we won't need it. There's Adam State, who has cycled through to the front of the order. Good work from Cardiff University driver.
I'm not sure. Has he been in that position before? I think that's his first time he's made it to the front there, Andrew.
There's been brief moments, but in terms of a full proper lead, I think, you're right in saying that this is the first time. David Whitehouse is back on the lead lap, ladies and gentlemen.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Shake a bake, Dave. Come on.
He needs a buddy to do that with.
He does rather. But he's going to be have some buddies on that same lead lap in due course. Fair play to Dave, because got back out there on the road.
I've just realised that the side of his car sort of combines. It's like 2 brands coming together, because it says Frosted Flake 99.
Yes. Yes, it does.
There's the little things. We've got to get through these cautions, folks. We'll get there. That's green flag running soon enough. And it'll be, Andrew, I don't know quite when the lights are going to go out, but it's going to be something like a 11, 12 lap dash to the end. This one.
Yep.
Going to be an interesting finish. This. How have those who pitted got on? Well, we're waiting to see what the call. Have we had any feedback on?
Yeah, all seems fine. Those pit stops were good.
So, might have been a very, very good move, that.
The idea being that if you've got some better grip underneath you, particularly running around the high side, will be a bit easier.
Yep.
I think 346 is just trying to get itself back in position there. That's Antonio Gitsonio. Adam State. Well, this is a very good opportunity. I think he's just going to keep his eyes forward and keep it calm. Because you look at that order, where's Sam Sanders? Sam Sanders currently ranked in 6th place. Championship leader on in terms of all scores. That will very much start to change after tonight. Once we've got this round completed, everyone's worst score, single worst score, if they've completed in every single round, will be dropped, will be gone. They don't need to worry about it. Of course, if that's a driver who's raced 8 times this season and missed 1 round, the missed round will become the dropped score.
I mean, you've got to love this one to a certain extent. Andrew, we are about to go racing again for 12 laps, where everyone who is still in the race is on the lead lap. This is going to be this is going to be interesting.
Well, this is what the organisers wanted. They wanted a close race. Whose entry fee for this season is going to get paid off in one hit? Of course, $50 on the line for the overall winner here tonight. Pace cars coming in. We're coming round to the end of lap number 82. 12 laps here at Talladega on the Super Speedway to decide round 9 of the 2023 Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. Waiting for the green flag. Adam State and Murray Adams on the low side. Get things going. That's a good start for those on the low side. Not a good one at all if you're Andrew Dawson. Charlie Summers on the high side there. Mike Hart has come through to 3rd place. Matt Hale is there in 4th place, the oval specialist. Back to green we go, 3 wide, including Gitsonio and Air there involved. Through onto the backstretch, looking good so far.
Don't forget the stops for people like Willie Doyle and Gitsonio, Andrew, could prove crucial here.
Indeed, if they've got a bit more performance in their cars. Murray Adams to the front of the order then. Works through with Matt Hale to be P1 and P2. Adam State still there in P3. Tom Dix has had a decent start. He's up into the top 5 right now. Is that trouble for Cameron Watson down on the low side, potentially going into pit lane? Yes, it is. That may be the end of the night for Cameron Watson. End of lap number 83. Adams, Hale, State, Hart, Dix. If there's going to be a high side run to the 4 here, Howard, it's got to come from a long, long, long way back, and that might be bad news for those who pitted under that last caution.
Yeah, absolutely. High side is just not mounting. It's coming back maybe a little bit here, as there's a few braking rank there. Is that Adam State to the high side? It is indeed. 64 goes high. Here we go then. This could be the charge as we are heading into the last 10 laps now. Murray Adams at the front in the red and silver car. You've got Matt Hale in the same pattern livery with the yellow colours behind. And then now on the high side, Adam State coming to the 4 with Andrew Dawson in tow. That looks like Alan Curtis down on the apron having issues.
Yeah, Alan's out of this race. Less than 10 laps to go then. This is lap number 85, and still Murray Adams has the lead at the front of it. Hale there in 2nd place. Mike Hartz is just trying to guess what to do here. Whoa. Oh, big one into the wall, and that is the 072 of James Fremont.
Yeah.
Avoids.
Be careful there. Yeah. Gets
Just
well down off the apron.
Oh, caution out again then. Oh, now how does this change things? Murray Adams and Matt Hale will be going blast.
Yeah.
Oh, that was running nicely. Looked like it was going to be going all the way, but it goes back under caution. We'll lose at least a couple of laps here.
Yeah.
Now what do you do? Where are those drivers as well who pitted last time around? Well, Harrison's currently in 14th. Gitsonio 15th. We couldn't quite tell whether Gitsonio was involved in that because it was in that region of the field.
I think he got away with it. Doyle as well pitted at the same time as them, didn't he?
Alan Curtis will get a wave around on this one. Now I wonder here, Howard, again, if you're someone like a Seb Algieri, do you go for a pit stop here? If you're in front with a number of laps remaining, I think we're just going to keep track position and hope for the best. How big a round could this be for Murray Adams in the C2 Championship as well? This has got the potential to really mix things up.
It is worth saying, isn't it, Andrew? The top two right now are Class 2 runners.
Yep.
Both drivers who would like to get a significant number of points. We will go around again. Of course, does anybody go down onto pit road? Those red lights mean it's closed. I'm taking it. Oh no.
Well, we said that last time.
Clearly not.
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah.
So a lot of the drivers who tried it last time are going to go for this one again. I think if you're outside the top 10, it makes sense to do so.
Yeah, Fremont, who was the driver involved in the hit on the wall, Cameron Watson, and David Whitehouse as well. All those drivers, 5 drivers then on pit road. Getting deja vu with some of them, certainly. Just check that these are all. So Fremont emerges, Whitehouse emerges. Just checking that these are all, yep, not penalties. Gitsonio. Watson going up on the jacks.
Yep, tyres. I think a couple of panels were bent in there. So this will bring us to the end of lap number 87. There'll be 7 laps to go. 5.5 minutes of racing. Murray Adams, Matt Hale at the front of it. Adams State seemed to be able to read that last period of green flag running quite nicely, Howard. He'll be eager to get on with this.
Yep.
It's surely going to be his best opportunity at clawing some points back on Kieran Harrison in the championship. Hasn't had a perfect season in his own regard. Remember back to Magny Corr earlier in the summer. Difficulties in one of the first runs in the Formula 4s. Formula 4's next time out, by the way, of course. Interlagos, which you will be able to view here on the DDMM YouTube channel. If you enjoy the stream, do make sure you've clicked that like button and given us a subscribe as well. Thank you for your continued support.
It's not too long, actually, either. Till it's 1st of November.
Yep.
That we'll be streaming that for you.
Just a couple of weeks. And then November 29th, the season finale on the Brands Hatch GP course. It'll be the AB Super Final format as well, which has been pretty popular this year. Well, we're not quite done here at Talladega. To come round to complete this lap. That'll be lap 87 in the books, and there'll be 7 to go. I think the drivers who pitted are now forming onto the back of the field.
Now, it's probably worth just mentioning, you mentioned the green-white checkered procedure, and we're not going to be triggering that here, but if we see another caution,
yep,
we might be in the...
correct, yeah, we may well be in green-white checkered territory.
Yeah, which, for the unfamiliar, that's for extending the race, essentially, owing to restarting off of a caution late on. It's 2 laps, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll get the green, you'll get the white, 2 racing laps, and then of course the checkered flag. Now, other interesting aspects with this, Howard. Murray Adams, Matt Hale were working quite nicely together that last time around. They've been split now.
Yep.
Adams has to go to the inside, Hale has to go to the outside. the run from the outside on this restart is crucial for Matt Hale.
Yep.
Andrew Dawson on the last time round didn't get a good one. He's still there in 5th place. This is really going to show all the skills that Matt Hale has, all that practice that he's put in on these ovals. That experience has got to come to the fore now, because he's in what's so far tonight is said to be the vulnerable position on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be critical, as you say. Matt Hale needs to be on it. Again, like a race start in Club 100 karting.
Nobody likes to start from P2.
No, and you've got to be able to get the hammer down at the right time.
Now we're going to go around again. Now what's happened here? The lights on the pace car have come back on. Now that was not expected. What has happened here? Is James Fremont had a problem?
Doesn't seem to have done. There he is in the 72. Not 100% on why we've gone around again there.
Either way, there we go. So we'll go for lap number 89 behind the pace car. That will make it a 5-lap run to the end.
He just race control just wanted more attention.
Mike Hart is disconnected.
Okay.
Now I wonder, is this just going to be a hold to see if Mike Hart in the number 11? Mike Hart disconnected and turned into a massive ghost, is what I'm hearing from race control. So that is why the caution came back out.
Okay.
Now, will Mike Hart be able to cycle himself back round, get back in the lobby, get back out on circuit? We can't hold the race forever, of course. Yeah, I've just seen a screenshot from race control that his ping went skywards. And the server yeeted him from the lobby. So 5 laps after this one. Still the same scenario in these positions, that Murray Adams will be P1, P2 for Matt Hale, P3 for Adam State. Mike Hart is now reconnected back into the lobby, so I wonder if he is trying to get himself back in. He'll be 1 lap down. Well, this has got a cars element, because he's got to beat that. He's got to beat that pace car.
Yes.
He's got to beat that pace car back out as he reloads back into the lobby. He's got to beat the field out, and I'm not quite sure that he's going to do so. I can see him there in pit lane. Can Mike Hart get back out and be 1 lap down and hope for a caution between now and the end of the race to get back on the lead lap? Because we're about to go back to green here. I don't think he is going to make it. We're going to focus on the front now. Murray Adams and Matt Hale. How do they play this? How do the next 5 laps go here at Talladega? Red lights, back to green. Away we go and racing. Good start this time on the outside from Matt Hale.
Yeah, the low side isn't fully formed up either, Andrew. This could be very interesting here for the high side players. Matt Hale. And is it Tom Dix that's going with him now?
It is indeed. Sam Sanders checked down to the inside there, saw a gap just ahead of Andrew Dawson. That could be a key move from Sam Sanders.
3 wide Charlie Summers to the high side now. That's going to be difficult to make it work by his lonesome there. Surely going to fall behind some of those below him.
Well, that's one done, and oh, big run from Matt Hale with the push from behind by Tom Dix. Pushes the 003 to the front of the field as they come round to complete lap number 90. 4 to go. Murray Adams gets help from behind this time from Adam State. They're all still in place. There's a bit of moving around in the middle of the pack. David Whitehouse is trying to make moves from around 12th position. Looks like Alan Curtis is out of it. He's some 4 seconds off the back of the field. Matt Hale.
Oh.
Matt Hale's got in front and down
Yeah.
to the inside, Howard.
Yeah, brilliant play, and Tom Dix has gone with him. That was beautifully judged by those two drivers. They've managed to make the high side work, and they've now checked down to that low side. Willie Doyle has come into this one beautifully as well, hasn't he? Had a great night.
As I say, here comes Kieran Harrison. Now Kieran Harrison potentially has better tyres, and there's a big moment there with that Gitsonio off. It's Antonio Gitsonio into the wall. The number 48 of Cameron Watson is out. Jack Hare is also injured. Sorry, James Fremont, and caution. Here we go then. It's going to be a green-white checker. The caution is out on lap number 92. And the first of 3 green-white checker attempts will begin shortly.
There was Gitsonio and Watson who were predominantly involved in the contact. I didn't actually catch what happened to Dawson, but he's clearly got tangled in it as well.
And Andrew Dawson, who's had such a good night, has been in the top 5 for so long. Well, he's gonna be hoping that there's multiple green-white checkers here, because that is going to be, even with the fast repairs, difficult to see him back into those top positions.
I'm going to say Fremont, well, I say he got away with it, but he had a massive impact with Watson as Watson drifted back down off the high wall. And yeah, assuming it's all right, he's got away with that. They're tough things, these next-gen NASCAR Cup cars, but yeah.
Mike Hart is circulating.
Very true.
But
yes.
I think he's 2 laps down. Well, actually, no, he might not be here.
No, I think he's fine. I think he's fine.
Mike Hart's going to get back round here. Get back on the lead lap.
Right, I've got to. If I'm going to back anyone from the comms box, I've got to back the person who would become the first ever winner, having disconnected halfway through. That'd be a story.
Oh, that would be a story indeed. There will be at least. There'll be a couple of attempts. If the green-white checker doesn't go fully clean all the way through. Andrew Dawson's in. We'll get some fast repair service. Boom. There go the virtual hammers.
Gitsonio as well.
Chevy looking spick and span and ready to go. Gitsonio, there's at least damage on the rear right there. The whole car seems to be leaning slightly. David Whitehouse is in. Now, that's an interesting play. Dave had worked his way up into the top 10 in all of that.
Oh, he's not alone. He's not alone. Algieri, they're all in.
Yeah.
Well, they're not all in. There are some staying out there, but David Whitehouse, Seb Algieri, Sam Dimolo, Cameron Watson, we sort of expected. Dawson and Gitsonio, they were all pitted. So those who weren't involved in the hit, Whitehouse, Dimolo, and Algieri, taking a chance on that. There it goes.
So this will be the first of 3 GWCs. It'll be this one. If there's another wreck, another one will get called. I'll be green-white checker number 2. Green-white checker number 3, if required, there will be no cautions. Just to note there, it'll be a maximum of 3 green-white checkers, and this will be the first of them. And the eagle-eyed amongst you will note that the race length has been extended to 95 laps. So we go beyond the prescribed 250 miles here for the G3 Pro 250. Now, drivers should, if I've understood the rules correctly, get the wave arounds here.
Yep.
They'll need to get on with it pretty sharpish.
Antonio clearly thinks he's getting the way around. He came up on the back there with a fair bit of speed.
Yeah,
Dawson
there goes
Dawson.
Now got the instruction and is going to go for the wave around. Gitsonio will do as well.
Yep. This is interesting. We are going to have drivers with some fresh rubber on the back of this.
And you've also going to have a driver, not fresh rubber, but fresher than everybody else ahead of him in 5th place. Kieran Harrison, 3rd on the inside.
Good point. I'm trying to think now. Yes, because he pitted on the other caution as well, didn't he? So he last pitted on lap 86. Willie Doyle pitted on lap 80.
Yep.
So they've both got younger tyres on than, I mean, second place, Tom Dix, last pitted on lap 59.
Yeah, he was one of the earliest pitters in the green flag period.
Yeah, the only person with running older tyres than him at the moment is Jack Eyre in the 13 in 7th place. Well, are you not entertained? We're going to have even more frantic ends to an even more frantic end to this G3 Pro 250. And we haven't said it enough already. There is a cash prize on offer for this one. Was it $50?
50 iRacing dollars. Black Friday coming up. That'll pay for a good chunk of a Black Friday 1 year or 2 year subscription.
Certainly would. Plenty of good stuff being added to the service this year. Is the stuff for second and third as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff. It's a bit of spice to the championship.
100 championship points as well available for the drivers.
Jitsonio's on pit road again.
Maybe a penalty. Yeah, $50 for first place, 25 for second, $12.50 for third, $6.25 for fourth, and $3 for fifth. Lights out on the safety car then. Green-white checker attempt number 1 about to start. Matt Hale will be on the inside, going from the lead. Tom Dix on the outside P2. Murray Adams, William Doyle, Kieran Harrison, Sam Sanders is the top 6. Pace car pulls to driver's left. Are we about to see the end of this motor race? Green-white checker attempt number 1. Could be 2 laps from the checker. We're about to see that green flag. Can Matt Hale get this run from P1 right? Can Tom Dix go for the big one round the outside? What is Kieran Harrison going to be doing as well on those fresher tyres from 5th? Good start for Matt Hale. Tom Dix is going to have to hold it in there. He's at a disadvantage as they go back to green. Murray Adams is going to be pushing Hale along there, and there's Kieran Harrison as well with the green flashes on his number 93. Beautifully positioned now with the fresher car. Drivers at the front of the order haven't pitted since the early stages, and there's already a wreck, and that is going to be another caution. Green-white checker attempt number 2 will be required.
So it's Dawson, Whitehouse, Algieri, Alan Curtis was involved in that, as well as Sam Dimolo, James Fremont, Cameron Watson, Mike Hart as well. Mike Hart, who disconnected from the server. That was a way to get racing again. Not sure about it. I think Jitsonio was okay. Jitsonio interestingly made it just onto the back of the pack as Matt Hale was dropping the hammer at the front. So everybody, all of the remaining 19 runners in this G3 Pro 250 did make it to the front, as it were, on the lead lap, I should say, as we got going again. Alan Curtis goes to pit road. That's to presumably get some damage seen to. Seb Algieri 2. Curtis just gets the damage done, and there's the damage repair on Algieri's car, and he's underway as well. So no tyres there. Another green-white checker. This will be the second of those. Maximum of 3 can be had. As that is David Whitehouse behind the pace car, so I imagine he should get some kind of wave by there.
couple of other drivers coming into pit lane here, Howard. Cameron Watson, Mike Hart, James Fremont, Sam Dimolo, Andrew Dawson all in. Whitehouse now gets the instruction to go for the wave around. Oh, well, I think the nerves will be rising now because we've had green-white checker number 1. It didn't even get out of turn number 1. This is what we've been talking about. This is what I guess we've been meaning all night, Howard, about why it's important to keep yourself at the front. Yes, if you have an incident, you're going to be able to probably pull back and get back onto the lead lap. But when it comes to this stage of the race, you don't want to be outside the top 8. Ideally, you don't want to be outside of the top 4 because those wrecks can happen in the second half of the field.
Yep, you're in the danger zone. Certainly, if you're in that mid-pack. I mean, yeah, from a wreck perspective, definitely. I think from a competitive perspective, if you can join the right queue, you know, you might be looking at some good stuff if you're anywhere in the top 10, perhaps. But that relies on it staying clean, and well, with each one of these, we get more and more pressure because there's more and more at stake, and there's less and less opportunity. It just ramps up the pressure again. Pretty similar to if you have a full start situation in a Club 100 race. Yeah. It's a very similar idea, you know, the mentality of it. The difference being, of course, that here these drivers have already gone around this Talladega Speedway some 98 times in their pursuit of success here.
The other thing as well, you've got to give it to him, because when he had that what we suspect was a speeding on pit lane penalty, it didn't look good. But Kieran Harrison's been able to work his way back up to 3rd place and will be second in line on the inside with much fresher set of tyres than both of the drivers ahead of him. That is not a bad spot to be in. How many green-white checkers in total can we get if needed? 3. 3 green-white checkers of this. This will be the second when we recommence shortly. So one more opportunity for drivers to have a bit of a mishap and still then be able to get onto the lead lap. A few more drivers just changing tyres, which yeah, I think you've got to do if you're in that last third. Give yourself as much opportunity as you can to go through. Race length now becomes 100 laps, at least, which will probably go for another one. Looking at that safety car, Howard, well, I'm guessing from the fact that we've got double files forming up that I think we're about to go back to racing here. Just to notice as well, there has been a penalty for Antonio Gitsonio for incident points, so he has been through the pits another time. Some drivers have been in the pits 7 times in this race. Yeah. Such as the variance. The leader has been in the pits twice.
Yeah.
Seb Algieri, Cameron Watson, for example, has been in the pits 7 times. And there could still be more to come as well. Field needs to get into some form of proper order. Matt Hale will take it from the front. He's done this a couple of times so far tonight. Can he do it one more time? This is green-white checker number 2. If there's a wreck on this one with multiple cars, we will get another one. But this could be the run to the end of the race. Green flag here at Talladega, and oh, Murray Adams gets straight down in there. Did not want Kieran Harrison to get ahead of him from 3rd in that formation. Gave up not going for around the outside. Muscles his way into P2. Starts to get the push on the 003. Tom Dix trying to go around the outside now.
Yeah, he's got Willie Doyle. Sorry, Andrew's got Willie Doyle with him. Accompanying him in. That's the high side effort, but it's losing out at the moment.
They've gone further than they did on green-white checker number 1, and Kieran Harrison's got his nose up front, and this is where those newer tyres will start to come to the fore. Can he get all the way in front of Matt Hale? He can if he can get down. This could be the run to the line. White flag out this time. Round goes Tom Dix, but if everybody else avoids, it'll stay green. I think it is going to stay green. Kieran Harrison has worked his way beautifully. The tactics have been brilliant. His championship rival, Adam State, is there in P2. Onto the back straight for the last time. Is it going to be another race win for the Leeds Motorsport man?
It's beautifully judged by Harrison and State. Sam Sanders was a part of that high side breakaway group as well, but it's not quite paid as well as him for him as it had. Adam State still to the high side. And Sam Sanders joins again on the high side. Murray Adam trying to cash in on that as well as they go towards the line.
Checkered flag is going to be out this time. Sam Sanders is in the wall. Kieran Harrison's gone underneath. Andrew Dawson's diving to the inside. Who's going to take this one on the line? Has Adam State got himself in front? He has! By 0.018 of a second, Adam State wins the G3 Pro 250. He takes round 9 of this year's Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. 100 championship points, $50 of iRacing credit as well. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. State wins from Harrison. Jack Eyre in 3rd. 4th for Murray Adams. 5th for Matt Hale. 6th for Seb Altieri. In only his 2nd ever run in this championship. What a drive there from Seb. 7th for Charlie Summers. 8th for William Doyle. 9th for James Fremont. 10th for David Whitehouse. What a finish, Howard.
I don't quite know what to say there. That was absolutely... What did that become? Almost 5-6 wide towards the line? That was an incredible end to this one.
And how big could that be for championship? Because Adam State need... I know it's obviously the bigger stakes with some iRacing credit on the line tonight as well, but Adam State for his championship, he needed this win.
Oh, yeah.
He needed it big time. Great recovery from Kieran Harrison. But my, oh my, is that a big 100 points for Adam State. Championship couldn't be won tonight. Championship won't be decided tonight. But that is a bit of an advantage back to State before we go to Interlagos in a couple of weeks' time. Celebrations beginning over the line. A Class 2 win for Murray Adams as well. Matt Hale in 5th. There is your provisional result. We should stress provisional. Adam State wins it from Kieran Harrison by 15 thousandths of a second. Jack Eyre 3rd over the line on the podium. He likes it on the ovals, doesn't he? He did well at Daytona, not on an oval layout, but you know what I mean. 3rd place for Jack Eyre tonight. 4th for Murray Adams. 5th for Matt Hale. One of the drivers of the evening we've got to give there is Seb Altieri in 6th place. That is a super run. Charlie Summers, Will Doyle, James Fremont and David Whitehouse. Persevere drivers. Whitehouse for what, 80 odd laps of this race?
Yeah.
At times was 3 laps down. Finishes in the top 10. Love it. Antonio Giazzonio will be 11th. Tim Penny, Cameron Watson, Sam Sanders and Tom Dix take us down to 15th. Andrew Dawson, I think, might be a bit disappointed tonight because he had some good pace, some good tactics. It just didn't play out for him there in the last, 10 laps after the competition caution on lap 75. Mike Hart, well, at least he gets over the line. He had a disconnect just before at the end of one of those cautions. He's classified 17th, Sam Dimolo 18th, 19th for Alan Curtis, 2 retirements, Ian Sumner and Richard Sanders. Well, lots to talk about, lots to digest and take stock of. But Howard, what are your thoughts on that race?
Thoroughly enjoyed it is the first thing to say. Yes, I suppose we got into a bit of a rash of cautions towards the end, but I was really impressed tonight, Andrew, by this is not a discipline that I'm sure if there's people watching who maybe race ovals all the time, this you know, I don't know, might seem a slightly interesting race, but I was really impressed by that long green flag period.
Yeah.
We were treated to some fantastic, proper oval racing there, proper pacing of cars, you know, biding your time, some interesting pit strategies as well on the cautions. That, for me, I don't want to take away from events that we've had in the past. We've had some championship events before. We had some non-championship events as well that we've held on ovals as well. For me, that was the best
one we've had.
The best one, the best actual oval racing entertainment value. We were talking about strategies. We were talking about, you know, managing tyres, managing pace. Far more than we had to talk about, you know, wrecks and driver errors and stuff. So first thing to say is, you know, to a certain extent, the championship goes out on a limb by having this kind of variety, and I'm delighted that it was as entertaining as it was for the right reasons. But other than that, wow, the last lap, the drivers by and large dealt with that. If you're Sam Sanders, you've got to surely be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
To have had that just towards the end. It wasn't a totally clean. You know, if some of those things had happened just a few quarters early, we might have seen a third green and white checkered. In many ways, that one concluded because it wasn't time to throw a caution for what was going on. So I'll maybe temper my previous comment with regards to the standards with that observation. But by and large, I think it's been a very interesting one. And some really nice tactics. So I liked seeing the drivers, you know, trying something different, throwing the dice, going onto pit road a bit more. That was really nice to see, and it kept the race really interesting. I think so. That was enjoyable, and yeah, well done to the top 5 who will be due their prize money. I don't quite know how that works for Matt Hale. He'll hold on to, what was it, $3?
I think you should donate it back into the prize pot for the whole field as the event sponsor.
I think you should split it between the commentators. I'm biased.
But yeah, no, really good, really good stuff.
I'm joking, Matt. I'm joking.
Really good stuff from all of those who came out tonight to race. Big thanks to, in particular, Adam Sears and Tom Cope as well for their comments. Adam says that's pretty much standard Dega, that finish. So
yeah, true.
You may have a point there, Adam. But thanks for following along. We're going to wrap things up there, everybody. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the DDMM YouTube channel. Round 10, the penultimate round of this year's championship, is in 2 weeks' time. November 1st will be in the Formula 4s at Interlagos. That's had a few championship deciders over the years, hasn't it? And we may well have this year's championship decided there too for both classes. For more information on the championship, head across to the Double Dash Motorsport Media socials at Double Dash MM. Do give us a like, follow, share, all of that business. It really does help out. Thank you so much for the support recently. 1,000 followers on Instagram, more subscribers as well here on YouTube, and all your lovely comments as well as we start to get into the rundown for the rest of the season. It's been great to have you along here tonight. My name's been Andrew Mather. Alongside me in the DDMM virtual Discord comms box has been Howard Mitchell. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been round 9 of the CLUB100 BUKC iRacing Championship. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time in Brazil. Bye-bye.